In the heart of Oba village, where the sun cast its golden rays upon fertile land, there stood the Iroko tree, an ancient sentinel that had witnessed countless generations come and go, towering above every other tree in the grove. The Iroko was both feared and revered. Its gnarled roots clawed at the earth like the fingers of an ancient elder, and its branches stretched skyward as though it sought to touch the heavens. The villagers believe that the Iroko tree was no ordinary tree. Legends spoke of its spirit, a guardian as old as time, who watches over the land and its people. It was said that those who disrespected the tree would incur its wrath, while those who honored it would find their lives blessed with abundance. One evening, under the glow of a crescent moon, young Amara stood by her grandmother, Nena, in the dimly lit hut. Nena's voice carried the weight of wisdom as she wove tales of the Iroko tree's magic. "Child," Nena began, her voice slow and steady, "the Iroko is no mere tree. Beneath its roots lies the spirit realm, where the ancestors dwell. The tree bridges our words and theirs, a sacred portal guided by the spirit Ekena, who ensures balance in our land." Amara's wide eye sparkled with curiosity. "Grandmother, have you ever seen Ekena?" she asked. Nena chuckled. "No, my dear, but I have heard his whispers when the wind danced through the grove. Only those who are pure of heart can see him, and even then, only when the land is in peril." Little did they know, the wind that whispered through the village that night carried a warning. A storm was coming, one that would test the very soul of Oba. The next morning, a stranger arrived in the village, draped in a cloak as black as a moonless night. He bore a presence that sent a chill through the air. He introduced himself as Okorafo, a traveler seeking shelter and rest. Though his smile was warm, his eyes held secrets. The elders welcomed him with customary hospitality, but whispers of unease ripped through the village. Amara, drawn to the stranger's enigmatic aura, watched him closely. That night, Okorafor visited the Iroko tree, hidden among the shadows. Amara followed him. She watched as he circled the tree, his hands tracing its bark. He muttered incantations in a language she did not understand. The air grew heavy and the wind howled. Suddenly, a deep voice rumbled from the tree. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" Okorafor froze, his confidence faltering. "Great Ekena," he stammered, "I seek the power of the ancients. I am but a humble servant of destiny." The tree branches swayed, though the air was still. "Destiny is not for mortals to command," the voice boomed. "Leave this place or face the consequences." Okorafor fled, but not before plugging a small branch from the tree, a grave mistake that will unleash chaos upon Oba. The next morning, the village awoke to find their crops withered, their livestock sickly, and the once clear river muddy and stagnant. Panic spread like wildfire. The elders converged beneath the Iroko tree, seeking answers. Ekena's voice echoed from the tree. "A great wrong has been done. The balance is broken. The one who has wronged me must return what he has taken, or your suffering will continue." Amara stepped forward, her small frame trembling, but her spirit unwavering. "I saw him," she confessed. The stranger took a branch from the tree. He must be found. The villagers set out to find Okorafor, but he was nowhere to be seen. Days turned into weeks, and the village's plight worsened. Desperate, Amara made a bold decision. She would seek Ekena's guidance herself. One moonlit night, Amara approached the Iroko tree alone, kneeling before its massive roots. She closed her eyes and spoke from her heart. Great Ekena, I seek your help to save my people. Guide me. A sudden gust of wind enveloped her, and when she opened her eyes, she was no longer in the village. She stood in a shimmering forest, where the trees glowed with an ethereal light. Before her stood Ekena, his form both human and tree-like, with break for skin and leaves for hair. Why have you come, child? Ekena's voice asked, his voice like rustling leaves. To save my people, Amara replied. I will do whatever it takes to restore the balance. Ekena studied her, his eyes deep pool of wisdom. The journey will be perilous, he warned. You must retrieve the stolen branch from Okorafor. Only then can balance be restored. With a wave of his hand, a path appeared before her, leading deeper into the spirit realm. Amara stepped onto the path, her heart pounding in her chest. The air in the spirit realm shimmered like the surface of a still lake at dawn. It was beautiful but eerie, the kind of beauty that whispered of hidden dangers. Each step she took felt heavy, as though the very ground resisted her presence. Ekena's voice echoed behind her. Remember, child, this realm is as much a test of your spirit as it is of your will. Trust your heart and let it guide you. The first trial appeared not long after she began her journey. Before her rose a massive river, its waters dark and turbulent. A voice called to her from its depths. Amara. It sang, melodious yet haunting. Do you seek to cross? Tell me, what would you sacrifice to save your people? Amara hesitated. The water surged and twisted, forming the shape of a face, a woman with eyes like whirlpools. I would sacrifice my safety, my comfort, even my life, Amara declared. The river face studied her, then spoke. The strength of your word is meaningless without proof. Step into the current and show me your resolve. Without hesitation, Amara waded into the icy water. He tugged at her, pulling her deeper, but she pressed on. As the river swallowed her, a sudden calm overtook her senses. She emerged on the other side, gasping for breath but alive. The face of the river smiled and faded away. The path wound deeper into the spirit realm, leading Amara to a dense forest. Amara, the whispers grew louder. Turn back. Your journey is futile. Your people will perish, and so will you. Amara clenched her fist, refusing to let fear take root in her heart. She whispered to herself, they are only shadows. They cannot harm me unless I let them. A figure stepped out from the trees. It was her mother, or at least something that looked like her. Amara, the figure said, tears streaming down her face. Come home. We need you. Let someone else take this burden. Amara's resolve wavered for a moment, but then she remembered Ekena's warning. This was a test. She closed her eyes and focused on her memories of her mother. The warm smile, the song she sang, the strength in her voice. "You are not my mother," Amara said firmly. "You are a shadow, and I will not be swayed by lies." The vigor shook and dissolved into mist. The forest grew silent, and the path before her cleared. The final trial brought Amara to a massive cave, its entrance guided by a pair of stone lions. As she approached, their eyes glowed, and they spoke in unison. "Only the worthy may enter. To prove your worth, you must answer this. What is the greatest strength of the human spirit?" Amara thought deeply. Was it courage? Kindness? Determination? Then she remembered her grandmother's teaching about the Iroko tree. "The greatest strength," she said, her voice steady, "is love. Love for others, for the land, and for oneself. It is love that gave us courage, kindness, and determination." The lion roared their approval, and the cave entrance opened. Inside, the air was thick with magic. At the center of the cave sat Okorafo, clutching the stolen branches. His once confidence demure has turned to desperation. "You," his pat, his voice trembling, "you have no right to be here." "I have every right," Amara replied, stepping closer. "You have cursed my people, and I will set things right." Okorafor's form twisted, revealing his true nature, a corrupted spirit, consumed by greed. He lunged at Amara, but she stood her ground. Ekena's voice echoed in her mind. "The branch is not yours to take. It must be returned willingly. Show him the truth." Amara raised her hand, and a soft glow emanated from her palm. "Okorafor," she said, her voice filled with compassion. "You don't need power to prove your worth. You've lost your way, but it's not too late to change." The glow spread, illuminating the cave. Okorafor froze, his twisted form shrinking. Tears streamed down his face. I only wanted to be remembered. I wanted to be great. True greatness lies in service, not in greed," Amara said gently. Okorafor hesitated, then extended the branch toward her. As soon as she touched it, the cave shook, and a blinding light filled the space. When the light faded, Amara was back in the village, the branch in her hands. Amara returned the branch to the Iroko tree, kneeling before it. "Great Ekena, the balance is restored. Please heal our land." The tree roots glowed with life, and its branches swayed as though in approval. The air around the village grew fresh, and the crops flourished once more, and the rivers ran clear. The villagers rejoiced, their faith in the Iroko renewed. Ekena's voice echoed one last time. "You have proven yourself, Amara. Your courage and compassion have saved your people. The spirit of the Iroko will always watch over you." Amara became a legend in Oba, her story passed down for generations. She was not just the girl who saved the village, but a symbol of what it meant to honor the balance of life. And the Iroko tree, its spirit, ever watchful, stood tall as a reminder that even in the face of darkness, the light of love and courage could guide the way. The end. Morals of the story. This story teaches us to cherish and protect our environment, as most of the things we do in our environment can have consequences or lead to harm to us and those around us. Just as Okora for plugging a branch from the Iroko tree caused great disaster in the land of Oba, that is how most of our actions in our environment can lead to harm to us and those around us. Courage in the face of adversity. Amara's bravery in stepping forward to correct the wrongs shows that even one person's courage can lead to great changes. It emphasizes the importance of standing up for what is right, even when the path is difficult. Power of love and compassion. Amara's ability to show compassion to Okorafor even after his wrongdoing helped restore balance. The story emphasizes that love and understanding are more powerful than hatred and vengeance. Thank you everyone for listening to this story. Please do well to drop your comments and opinion on the comment section. And please do not forget to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I drop another story. Remain blessed.